Good evening from Washington, D.C., and thank you to those of you joining us from around the world for news from a Catholic perspective. I'm Lauren Ashburn. The White House unveils plans to beef up school security, including arming some teachers and improving background checks. The president appoints Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos to head a committee on school safety. A national organization of Catholic educators is calling on the Trump administration to include private schools in the conversation. White House correspondent Mark Irons reports. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Lauren. I spoke with the president of the National Catholic Educational Association today, who tells me any federal money going to school security should be accessible to Catholic schools. He also said addressing gun violence requires action on all levels. One of those actions is more prayer.
Prayer is action. Prayer is our conversation to the Lord, to our Father in heaven, asking God to intervene.
Tom Burnford leads NCEA. The group supports the ongoing faith formation of nearly 2 million Catholic school students. Burnford says federal proposals for school safety should keep those kids in mind.
That if there's legislation and resources made available, that they are accessible to private schools as well.
The White House has now released its plan for boosting school safety almost a month after the deadly school shooting in Parkland, Florida. The Trump administration wants to harden schools by providing guns and training to some school staff. They also want to improve the accuracy and effectiveness of background checks and expand and reform mental health programs. Burnford says federal dollars can be used to increase school security measures, but he's opposed to arming teachers.
To myself as an educator, it doesn't make sense to have guns in schools at all, period, end of story. But it's a very complex issue.
The president tweeting his thought today: if schools are mandated to be gun-free zones, violence and danger are given an open invitation to enter. Almost all school shootings are in gun-free zones. Cowards will only go where there is no deterrent. But the president is backing off a proposal he made last month to raise the age limit to buy assault weapons.
We're talking about rules and regulations for purchasing. We're talking about changing an age from 18 to 21.
Trump now says there isn't much political support. The age issue is still on the table, says Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos, appointed to head a federal commission on school safety.
What we want Betsy DeVos to really focus on, as with all the government, is to put children first.
Tom Burnford there, the president of the National Catholic Educational Association. He joined a group of private educators today who met with Secretary DeVos. I'm told they advocated for the passage of the Stop School Violence Act. That legislation would provide funds for training and technology to identify and prevent school threats. Lauren?
White House correspondent Mark Irons, thank you.